So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about the scripting at a screening and what to say and what not to say also. So one thing too to preface this is you need to be standing and you need to be in front of your booth. We used to kind of get in trouble sometimes at some of the shows because we were hogging up the aisle, but you have to push your table back a little bit and stand in front of it. You can't be sitting in a chair behind your table. You're dead in the water already. It doesn't work. So have to get up, stand in front of the booth, be actively moving around and look friendly. There's a few different things you can say, and we tried so many things. We would test this a lot at screenings. The things I think you shouldn't say are this. Would you like to get your spine checked? Would you like a health screening done? Those two, and there was one other one I was thinking of, maybe it'll come back to me in a second, but you want to try to say something that isn't like a negative connotation. I think those first things are, most people think they're like a negative thing. They're like, no. There's, I think the best thing we ever found to say, and we did this a lot, was, would you like to have a scan done? Now, do I think that that's the most happy thing someone could hear either? No, but it's confusing. And the goal isn't to get them to run to you with open arms the first thing you say to them, it's to get them to stop. So goal number one is to get the person to stop and look at you. If you can get them to kind of look at you funny, like for 1 second, you got them. Because as soon as they do that, all you say then is you say, oh, come on over, it's fun, it just takes a second. And the next thing they'll say almost every time, they'll kind of laugh and kind of giggle a little bit as you're waving them over, and you kind of, I wouldn't grab them and put my arm around them, but you could do that if you have the right kind of personality. But for me, I don't think that would be appropriate. So I just say, oh, come on, it's fun, it takes 2 seconds. And they'll usually laugh a little bit, and then they'll start coming over, well, what does it do? What are you doing? And I say, well, what we do is we take this scanner, and I would have it in my hand, and I'd say we just run it over the skin on your neck, and it will help to show us if there's any pressure or problems in your nervous system. And we say, okay, great. And I say, and so they would hold their hair up if they had to or whatever. We'd run the scan, and then the colored bars would come up on the screen, and it depends what kind of scanner you're using. The colors will be a little bit different for each one. But whatever they are, I'd say, these are this is good. These are areas that are good, and these are areas where there's some problems going on. And what that means, and I would grab those little spine models. And we'll demonstrate this in the last video that we do so you can see it really in real life. But I would hold the little spine models and I'd say, so, this is your spinal cord and your nerves. These are the discs. So they knew what they were looking at. I would give them a clear explanation of that. And then I would say what happens is when the spine starts to get out of position, it can put pressure and cause swelling around these nerves. And that increases the temperature in that area. And so these colored bars that we're looking at on the scan, that's what that is. That's what we're seeing there. So what we're seeing is that you have some problems in your neck and your spine. So I don't know if you have any complaints in that area, but and sometimes we'd even have a list of possible symptoms. We say these are the kind of symptoms that someone might have if they were having problems with that. And remember, this is just your neck. If there's something going on down lower in your spine, that's a totally different thing and would be totally different symptoms. And we can check that, but that's something we have to do in the office. So, and I'd always kind of, with our staff, they'd always laugh because I'd say, when we'd say so, that's when we were doing our close. So I'd say, so what we're doing today is for whatever the cost was. Sometimes we do 17, 27. We'd usually pick something that had 7 in it. Sometimes we do 10 or 20 though, so let's say it's 20. For $20, you can come into the office and we'll do your exam and your x-rays, and we would do x-rays, but you can do whatever you want. People usually bit a little more when we offered x-rays as well, but you can do what you choose there. You get all of that for $20, and it gives you a chance to see what's going on inside, and we can give you some advice about what we can do to help you, and what you decide to do after that is up to you. And usually there's a little hesitation, right? That once in a while you get somebody like, yes, I want to do that. I was looking for a chiropractor, but that's kind of rare. More often you're going to get, well, I don't know. And so at that point, one of two things are going on. They really don't want to come in and they're just trying to get away from you. Or two, they're considering it, but they're not sure. So you don't know. So what we would do is this. We would grab one of our ads, which is sort of like a killer ad, but it was our own stories. And we had our own kind of ads that we did in town a lot. And a good thing is a lot of people had seen those, so they'd say, oh, you're that office. I've seen that in the paper before. Like, oh yeah, that's us. And it gave us a lot of credibility right there too. So that branding did help. But I would say you can take this sheet with you. It's really important in this process of this close, to take a step back for 1 second, that you don't, if the person feels like you are selling them, you're lost, you're going to lose. It's just like a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and your girlfriend breaks up with you and you're desperately trying to get her back. She'll never come back. But if you get another girlfriend and you go this way, then she'll want you back again. Like, it's just how the silly world works all the time, and it's happening to us all day long, every day, in different circumstances. So, and it's the same way that sales work. If the person feels that you're pushing them to make an appointment, they're done. They're not going to do it. Even if they want to see you, they won't do it. So you have to kind of take it away from them. So how we would do that at the end is we would say, if I felt like they were kind of like, and they were backing up a little bit, I'd say, here, why don't you do this? I would kind of let them go. I would grab on the ads and say, take this ad with you. On here, it tells you a little bit about us. You get to know more about what we do. But it says on here that it's $47, so it would be 2 or 3 times as much cost as what we were offering at the screening. It still gives you a deal to come in, but if you're really serious, you'll want to make an appointment today because it's going to save you some money. And if they're kind of thinking about it, more often than not, they'll schedule. You'll get them to schedule and make the appointment right there. If they weren't serious, they'll take your sheet and they'll leave, and it's fine. But you didn't pressure them. It was their choice. You kind of let them go. I don't need you as much as you need me. It has to stay that way. So that's kind of my advice on the scripting at the screening. And one more thing with that that's critical that I'm thinking about at this moment is they must be scheduled as fast as possible to come into the office. So if you're doing a screening on Saturday, they're coming in on Monday. And at the very latest, they're coming in Tuesday, because anybody coming in after that's not coming in. I don't care how good they were at the screening, and trust me, my staff, at one of the screenings we did, we scheduled 45 people. This particular day, it was a 1-day, 4-hour event in the morning. We did really good. Everybody was really happy. We got done, and I said, let me look at the schedule book. Where are they scheduled? And one of our staff members, who was a really smart guy, I love him to death, he said, well, we were kind of busy next week, so I scheduled them for the next week. And my heart just dropped, because I knew that we just wasted our whole day. And he was trying to convince me all day long that I was wrong and that they were going to come in. And a couple weeks later, he came into the office and apologized to me for messing that up, because nobody came in. I think we maybe got one person to come in because there was too much time. So critical to schedule them in as fast as possible. Do not be delaying on that. So check out the next video. We'll go over a little bit more specifics in that one again.